And we're recording. We're thriving. We're surviving. We're not. It's fine.
I want you to do the whole podcast in the voice that you just had when your throat was stuck. You were like, my throat's stuck.
I might have to.
It's stuck.
No, it really felt like my throat was sticking together. Oh my god.
I've had that before. Usually it hits me in the middle of the night.
Oh god.
And yeah. And then my favorite part was Kelly was trying to fix it with like drinking some water and it wasn't working and she just goes, "Can you not?" Yelling at her own throat. "Can you not?" You bitch.
You appreciate me?
I did.
Hey, tough love to myself. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. It's like this week when you told my kids, Aunt Cassie needs you to pull it together.
I need y'all to get it together.
Mom doesn't need this right now.
Boys, work your fucking shit out. Come on now. Oh god, my face hurts.
And on that note, cue music.
Oddities. Stay strange.
Thank you to Chef Kyle Head.
Thank you, Chef.
For that wonderful. Thank you, Chef, for that wonderful new intro. If you're interested in checking out some of his other work, across the board, he's Kyle Head Music. He has a website. If you look up Kyle Head Music, it'll be right there. It was a most excellent.
It is linked down below.
It is linked. Every fucking time I listen to our new intro, it just
so
fucking
good.
It hits so hard.
Hits.
Love
Serotonin
it.
spikes. Good mood.
Big
oh my
fan.
God, it's happening again.
It's happening again. Can you not? Oh my god.
I don't know what's happening.
Do you need a gargle? Do some gargling?
No, I'm not going to gargle on the podcast.
You can edit it out.
Yeah.
All right. How are we? Oh, wait, no. Welcome back to Oddities. I'm Cassie.
I'm Kelly.
And welcome back to Strange Town. And as per usual, along with Chef Kyle's information in our description, there's our social media, a link to our merch shop, and of course a link to our Patreon. Please, for the love of fucking God, somebody else donate to us too. Thank you.
That's all.
Please.
If you subscribe, there are several tiers, and with those tiers there are several different goodies. So check it out.
That's true. And like I know y'all are buying your coffees and shit.
Your
whatever.
Taco Bell every week. It's cheaper than
I'm not trying to shame you, but you could just do it for as low as $1 a month, and we'd love it. Yeah. But also understand if you're unable. It's a weird world we live in right now.
Such a
as
weird
evidenced
world.
by this entire show.
There you go.
So there you have it. How's my bestie? Did you do your testy?
I did do my testy. I did it for like 5 minutes before you called me. I was like, this is excessive.
We're testing so thoroughly tested. You know, we just recorded a bonus episode, friends, and it took ages to export that video file this time. I don't know why. So
it likes to torment us.
Yeah, it was having a moment, so that's why it took me roughly a century to log on for this. So, how's it's been? It's 1 week since you looked at me.
First off, I love that band. Honestly, I don't know if you're very familiar with that band, but if you can go to one of their concerts, I highly recommend it. Their concerts are so much fun.
I believe it, 100%. Chickadee China to Chinese chicken.
And that song is so much fun live. I'm telling you.
That song slaps. Why can I not remember anything? But I can remember, I don't know, maybe 90%.
You love that TikTok,
song.
Didn't you?
Yeah, I did. That hit so close to home. So it's been a week.
Yeah, it's been a really difficult week. But you've been an amazing best friend during all of it. So thank you.
Well, thank you.
My favorite text messaging this week with you.
Cassie's weekly text.
Yeah, actually, it has to do with yesterday's texting. And it wasn't... I felt so bad about this. I'm going to talk about the Royals again, guys.
Oh, no. Because this is the conspiracy I need to get into a little bit.
Okay, so yesterday they finally did the news release. And if you have all been living under a rock, which by the time this comes out, which is 3 weeks from when this news was released, Kate has cancer, unfortunately. But when I texted Cassie, it was all caps. Kate has cancer, ugh. And Cassie was like, where did you see this? Fuck, I'm still in a work call.
Priorities.
So I proceeded to then give Cassie as much information as I could because I knew she was dying in that work call.
Actual pain.
I knew she was having torture and excruciating pain, not being able to know what was happening in that moment. So I am so sorry for doing that to you. But that was my actual favorite. Well, there was actually a few favorite Cassie moments this week. Cassie has been really a true, phenomenally amazing
I was rich this week. Thank you.
Cassie has... This week has been awful, guys. And I really can't get into details because I don't want to cry. But Cassie has been a phenomenal friend. But yesterday there was several laughs just because of your reaction. And again, that's not funny that Kate has cancer. Cassie's reactions, however, are hilarious. That is all.
I am going to sound like a complete and total nut right now. But when I watched the video for the first time, I have to tell you, my first thought was, this doesn't look right. Something about this looks off.
A lot of people were trying to figure out if it was AI.
My first thing was like, is this AI generated?
Yep.
And now I'm reading more about that, and some people were like, actually, she's already dead. And they released this, and then in a couple of months it's going to come out. And I got to be honest, and I hate to feed into this, but like, the fact that my first thing when I was watching the video was like, something about this seems off, I kind of can't help but wonder if like, maybe? I don't know. All I know is it's really terrible. If it is the case where this is a like true video or whatever, I hate that she was kind of forced to make this statement because people like
because the rumor mill was rumoring.
Was milling. Yeah.
What was the? I'll touch base on that in a minute. You can continue.
I think my thing is when I was watching the video, I was like, I couldn't put my finger on it, what it was, but like something about the movements were too, like the way her mouth was moving and the way her head was moving.
Yeah.
Was like too, it's not too smooth, but like, you know how you look at something?
It was very interesting.
There's like, do you see what I'm saying? Do you like feel, okay. Yeah. So.
It was very quick, too, how quickly news articles were surfacing that it was AI.
I know. But, like, I can't help but, seriously, like, I'm kind of almost aboard that train. I'm kind of almost like something, I don't know, some sort of treatment was done to that video, I feel like. And that's all there is to it. And I feel bad that that's what's going on. So.
Not to feed into this. But I have to touch base on this.
Okay.
The rumor mill. What do you feel was the most outrageous rumor throughout all of this?
Wow.
Or here's a better question. What do you feel was the most outrageous, and what do you feel was your favorite?
They're one and the same.
Okay, then.
It's that she was a lesbian.
There it is.
Like the leap that people made on that one, it just cracked me up. And then like some of the videos that it like showed William, they're like, listen, if I was with this,
listen, if any man could do it, it would be this man.
And it just killed me. I thought it was just the funniest thing. What about you?
I think the most outrageous one that I heard was that she was a lesbian.
Yeah.
And maybe that was also my favorite. Because the comments on that were
The comments were just golden.
Yeah. I think my least favorite was that Prince Charles, the King, actually, I can't get used to it. I cannot get used to it, you guys.
Genghis Khan Charles.
He actually has kidney cancer, not pancreatic cancer, or whatever. Which, I saw something yesterday about him actually having pancreatic cancer, and he only has 2 years left to live.
Instead of prostate or something, or whatever. Yeah, I saw that too, but is that real?
I have no idea. Kate Snooze kind of took the cake on it. So, anyways.
I give way more of a shit about what's going on with
Kate.
His ass. Yeah.
But that he actually has kidney cancer, and Kate gave him a kidney.
First of all, if that was the case and she gave him a kidney, I'd probably be kind of pissed at her.
Yeah, because she's not the spare.
Don't give that. That's right. Fucking don't get me started.
Yep.
On that shit. So
it was just, I don't know. It's been a wild week.
Part of me still wonders if she's actually dead. Because I've been saying that shit
there was
from the beginning.
Interesting video I saw about a guy talking through a ghost box to Diana.
Yes, I saw this too.
You saw it too.
Did you send it to me? Or
maybe
did we
I did.
I think we synced up. I don't know.
We may have synced up. I wouldn't be surprised.
Nope.
And Diana was saying she's fine. She just can't show her face.
Oh.
Was that the same video you saw?
No, I think I saw one that said she was dead.
Oh. No, this ghost box was Diana saying she was fine. She just can't show her face, and she will be okay.
Wow. I wonder what that's about.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Huh.
Well, so there's your conspiracy theory for the week, kids. I
also need to point out that Cassie literally at least twice this week was, there's still no fucking announcement. I need an announcement.
Yeah, all this rumor was we're going to hear by Wednesday or whatever. Wednesday comes and goes. Fucking nothing. And then all of a sudden they drop that video and I'm like, yesterday or whatever it was.
Yeah, while you're in the work call. Ugh.
I'm like, this isn't the time. The royal fucking family didn't fucking consult my ass on when I was available to hear this shit. So
rude.
Listen, if my queen was still around,
it would have been organized better.
She wouldn't even have cancer.
Well, there you go.
She would have the queen would have given one of those looks to Kate's body and the cancer would have just died.
There you go.
And that would have been it. That's how that works. It's science. So, from my side of the equation, I still haven't won the fucking lottery, so that's that.
Rude. And
so we carry on. Will I be purchasing more tickets today?
Yes.
But of course, because I'm a sucker. Because
isn't it at $1 billion now?
1.1 bill for Mega Millions, and Powerball's up high too. I'm playing both.
Yeah.
Fuck it. So
go big or go home.
And my parents are gonna play them both too. So
here we are.
We're just shelling it out. So that's the overwhelming sentiment for me this week is behold, I'm still not a millionaire, and so all of it just continues. So, now that we're at our standard 13 minutes of intolerable prattling
mooing.
Cow. Yep. Shall we?
Who just knocked?
Nobody knocked.
I swear to God, I just heard knocking. It was the queen.
No. She's coming through my Ouija board. Not now, queen. Now's not the time. Should we party?
Let's party hardy.
All right. I can't recall who started last time.
I have no idea. I think
it matters not.
It matters not.
Mine is not at all remotely heavy.
Mine's not either.
Oh, good. Oh, a fun little light episode for
Mine's
us.
Mine's a woman of history.
Ooh, yeah. Well, do you want to start with her?
Sure.
Let's hear about this lady.
I'm covering Annie Oakley.
Oh,
and
very
this was
cool.
Suggested. Well, first off, I love Annie Oakley, but this was suggested by honorary cousin Michael.
Thank you, honorary cousin Michael. God, this is turning into the honorary cousin Michael show. The last 3 weeks. I love that.
Yep. So, yeah, I don't know. To me, Annie Oakley is widely known. If if you do not know who she is,
Indeed, but
she is a maybe the first known female sharpshooter. You know,
I love that.
which
I love that phrasing. Well done. Well done.
she was born Phoebe Ann Moses or Mosley, the woman who would be known as Annie Oakley. She was born to Jacob and Susan Moses, and she had roughly 8 siblings.
Holy shit.
I think
Okay.
there was a few that had passed away.
Oh,
Anyways,
well, such were the times, though.
her father died when she was young, and then she had a stepfather, but he also died when she was young.
Oh. Is her mom like a black widow? What's going on there?
No,
What's happening?
it was like illness, and then
Well, was
yeah,
everybody was like
early
just
life.
dying all the time. Yeah, right.
My computer is frozen. Damn it.
It's the queen.
It probably is.
We got knocking here. Your shit's frozen. It's all going to hell.
She was born on August 13th, 1860 in Drake County, Ohio. Her first father died of pneumonia. She was left to care for with her mother for her and her 5 siblings at that time. Her mother remarried, but her second husband also died suddenly.
Oh,
but we don't know why
probably a
he
heart
died.
attack.
Yeah.
Some shit. Yeah.
Leaving the family with a newborn baby because the family did not earn enough money and they lived in a poor house. She was sent to live with another family. Oakley worked with in an infirmary, it seems.
Oh, okay.
Where she learned how to sew and help with younger children, like care for them and whatnot. And then she moved to live with another family. And in her autobiography, she recounts this family as the Wolves because they were very abusive.
Oh, no.
She never actually names this family. She only ever refers to them as the Wolves.
I would have blown their ass up. I've been like, these people are fucking assholes.
I think that speaks loudly. By the age of 8, she started hunting, and she would sell game at local restaurants to help her earn money for her family. By the time she was 15, she became an incredible marksman and was hunting and selling still, and was actually able to pay off her mom's mortgage.
Hell yeah, way to go.
By the age of 15. Phoebe. That's pretty impressive, if you ask me.
Hell yeah, it is. Definitely.
My biggest thing at that time, it's my understanding, I couldn't find anything to actually confirm this. She was self-taught for shooting, for hunting purposes here. So when it came to shooting game and hunting and all that, she had a very natural talent.
I love this for her. Yeah.
When she was 15, she went to Cincinnati to compete against marksman Frank E. Butler. He traveled around the country challenging people to shooting competitions. During the competition, she shot all 25 shots and Butler missed 1, making her the winner. Butler was impressed by her skills, and soon they began courting, and they married on August 23rd, 1876.
Oh, bagged herself a dude. All right.
Yep. He ended up teaching her shooting tricks.
Okay, well that's cool.
So the fun.
We can learn from one another.
The fun
yeah,
things,
fun shit.
right? But her accuracy was always better than him.
Way to go. We love it. He gave her the riz, as the kids would say.
Yeah.
Pizzazz.
The happy couple toured around the country and continued to perform as marksmen. She acted as his assistant and would help held up items for him to shoot. She would also do some shooting herself, and she became more popular. She adopted the stage of Annie Oakley.
Okay. Don't like that she was just serving kind of as his assistant and then just like doing a little bit herself. Like,
Yeah.
but okay.
On May 1st, 1882, Butler's shooting partner became ill, and she filled in. When he realized how much the crowd loved her.
Oh, I see. So he already had. Okay, I get it. I get it. Okay.
That's when she became a part of the full act.
Well, there we go. She should have been from the start, but
Yeah.
all right, that's fine.
In March of 1884, she met a Native American by the name of Sitting Bull, the Lakota leader who defeated General Custer in the Battle of Little Bighorn. And he gave her the nickname Little Sure Shot after seeing her perform in St. Paul, Minnesota. That's just a little fun fact for you, which
Minnesota,
which I thought was cool.
Yeah.
After touring for a year with the circus,
Same.
they joined the Buffalo Bills Wild West show. The couple performed as
Woohoo.
partners, but she quickly rose to fame, and her husband chose to support his wife and work as her assistant and manager.
There we go. There it is. Thank you, Mr. Butler.
She became the star of the show, and she would shoot glass balls out of the air and shoot through playing cards and shoot cigarettes out of her husband's mouth.
Oh my God.
If that is not trust.
That is a big ass trust. Oh my
like,
God. Okay. I would shit myself.
Right?
Yeah. 100%.
As the headliner of the show, she chose to wear simple, modest clothes instead of flashy costumes so they wouldn't distract from her show. As she was there as a markswoman, nothing else.
An object, a pretty thing to look at.
She didn't want to be an object. She didn't want people to be looking at anything but her shooting. And I think
Annie.
That's also a threat to be said.
That's very, like forward of her. I love that.
Her and her husband stayed with the Buffalo Bills Wild West show for 16 years. During these years, they traveled around the country and abroad. They performed for Queen Victoria's Golden Jubilee in England. They also toured in Spain, Italy, France. And over the years of her career, she showed people around the world that women were capable and able to handle firearms and even shoot out men.
Love it. We love it. We love her.
She encouraged women to learn how to use pistols that could be kept in purses in order to protect themselves. She was passionate about empowering women and helping children. After returning to the United States, her and her husband began touring less and finally ended touring after a train wreck in 1901, which injured only her back. 2 years later, she found herself in a legal battle, and it was reported in Chicago that she had been arrested for stealing a man's trousers to sell them to buy cocaine.
Oh my God, girl.
Yeah.
What happened? Oh my God, okay. All right, well, plot twists happen.
Yeah. Other newspapers across the country also began to print the same story. However, the report was entirely false.
Oh, okay.
Yes. She did not use drugs, nor did she steal anyone's trousers. She and her husband were also living in New Jersey at the time, therefore she was nowhere near Chicago when the crime took place. It was discovered that the woman who was arrested was Maud Fontella, who used the false name Annie Oakley. And actually, it was spelled A-N-Y, Oakley. The real Annie Oakley was anchored by the newspaper reports, ruining her reputation, and she sued every paper that ran the false story over the course of 7 years. Oakley successfully won 54 out of 55 cases against those newspapers.
Hell yeah, as she should.
She was a force to be reckoned with, and I love her.
I love her, and I love that she spent some time in the dirty jurors.
Yeah.
We'd love to see it. We'd love to see it.
In 1913, they moved to Cambridge, Maryland, and Then Pinehurst, North Carolina in 1917, and at the beginning of World War I, Oakley wrote to the Secretary of War, Henry L. Stimson, and offered to fully fund and raise a regiment of women volunteers to fight during the war. She offered to teach soldiers how to accurately shoot. Both her offers were not accepted.
Oh, okay.
She really wanted to empower women, but the world wasn't ready.
That's sad. Yeah, the world wasn't ready, and it should have been ready, but
Yeah.
that's okay. Good on her anyway.
In 1922, she planned to begin touring again. However, her and her husband were in a car accident, which put her plans on hold. After a year of recovery...
So they had a fucking train accident and a car accident? That sucks. Wow.
After a year of recovery, she returned to touring. Soon after, she became sick, and in 1925, she moved back to Ohio to be closer to family. She died November 23rd, 1926. Her husband died 3 weeks later. They had been married for 50 years.
Aww.
Yeah, he actually died really quickly after her. It was... Yeah, 3 weeks. And I have to think it was a broken heart, honestly.
I love when that happens. I mean, I feel bad, but I love when that happens. I think it's just the sweetest thing.
Yeah. She, again, I've always known about her. She is a phenomenal woman. I personally believe she paved the way for women to be able to show them you can shoot a gun and protect yourselves. It's not a men's sport.
I think it's cool. I always knew she existed, but I didn't know this detail about her. So thank you.
They did not have any children, but she did also do a lot of work and charity work in supporting orphanages and wanting to open them as well.
Oh, cool.
When working at such a young age in infirmaries and with children, had a huge impact on her life. So, and
That's
she was
awesome.
very incredibly close with her nieces and nephews as well. So,
oh, Annie Oakley,
she's a phenomenal woman. This was a really fun woman to read about and learn about and just go a little bit more in depth on. So thank you, Michael, for bringing her to our attention and having us cover her.
Yeah.
But I loved her, and I still love her, and she is
She's
100% one of my favorite women of history. So
she might be up there with my girl Amelia Earhart. We love to see it.
Definitely.
And thank you, honorary cousin Michael. That was great. Good job, bestie.
Thank you.
Bestie. Yeah. Couldn't be farther from that.
Yep.
I'm covering astral projection today.
Let's hear about it.
I'm covering this. Nobody wrote in on this. This is just something I've kind of wanted to cover for a while. So astral projection, in case people are unfamiliar, it's it has a lot of names. Soul journeys, spirit walks, spiritual travel, whatever. It's a term used in esotericism to describe an intentional out-of-body experience. And you assume the existence of what some call a subtle body, aka the astral body, or a body of light, in which your consciousness, your soul, whatever, it can function separately from your physical body, and you can go pretty much wherever you want via the astral plane. So it's actually, yeah.
Out-of-body experiences?
It's out-of-body experiences, but the important distinction is you're controlling it and you make it happen versus if you're on a table and you die and have an out-of-body experience.
Oh, okay.
So that is the important distinction there. Good question. So what was really interesting to me in doing this research is that the idea of astral travel in some sort of fashion is actually ancient and happens across multiple very different cultures, which I didn't know. Yeah. So the term for it, astral projection itself, was coined and promoted in the 19th century by theosophists. It is associated sometimes with dreams, some forms of meditation. Some people say that they've reported perceptions similar to astral projection that were induced through hallucinogenic and hypnotic means. But I will say this up in advance. There is no scientific evidence that there is a consciousness whose embodied functions are separate from normal, like, neurological activity, or that one can consciously leave their body and make observations of the physical universe. And so, therefore, a lot of people have characterized astral projection as a pseudoscience. But I want to talk a little bit about the different cultures, the different takes on this. And there were, like, so many. So I had to cut it down and just take, like, a handful. But so going way back to ancient Egypt, my buddies, big fan of ancient Egypt, fucking forward-ass thinking, love it. So anyway, in ancient Egyptian teachings, they present the soul, or Ba, as having the ability to hover outside the physical body via the Ka, or subtle body. This is sometimes depicted as like a, you could see it within like the Book of the Dead, and like there'll be like a sarcophagus, and then there's like this bird person above it, and that like represents that. In more like some like indigenous traditions, so like in the Amazon, the Yaskomo of the YY is believed to have the ability to perform a soul flight, which can serve actually a lot of different functions, like healing. You can fly to the sky to consult cosmological beings, like the moon or the brother of the moon, so sort of god figures, deities, to obtain a name for a newborn baby. You can fly to the cave of the Peccaries Mountains to ask the father of the Peccaries for abundance of game, or fly down in a river to seek the aid of other beings that live in that river. There's also the Inuit. So in some Inuit groups, there are individuals with special capabilities, and I'm going to fuck this up, but they're known as the Angakuk, which are said to be able to travel to mythological remote places that exist within this astral plane, and then come back and report their experiences and important matters, like back to the community. Those abilities would be unavailable to individuals with normal capabilities. So these are people who are considered like, not like a shaman, but like somebody who's like a higher level within the community type of thing, among other things. And Angakuk was said to have the ability to stop bad hunting luck or heal a sick person. In Hinduism, there are similar ideas like the Linga Saraira. Fuck that up, I know it. They're found in ancient Hindu scriptures, like the Yoga Vashashita Maharamayana of Valmiki. So modern Indians who have vouched for astral projection include Paramahansa Yogananda, who witnessed Swami Pranabhananda doing a miracle through a possible astral projection. There is a spiritual teacher, Meher Baba, who described one's use of astral projection as, in the advancing stages leading to the beginning of the path, the aspirant becomes spiritually prepared for being entrusted with free use of the forces of the inner world of the astral bodies. He may then undertake astral journeys in his astral body, leaving the physical body in sleep or wakefulness. So essentially it can happen when you're dreaming, or it can happen like while you're conscious and you just choose to make it happen. The astral journeys that are taken unconsciously are much less important than those undertaken with full consciousness, and as a result of deliberate volition. This implies conscious use of the astral body. Conscious separation of the astral body from the outer vehicle of the gross body has its own value in making the soul feel its distinction from the gross body and in arriving at fuller control of it. One can, at will, put on and take off the external gross body as if it were a cloak, and use the astral body for experiencing the inner world of the astral and for undertaking journeys through it, if and when necessary. It is one of the siddhis, aka like magical powers, considered achievable by yoga practitioners through self-disciplined practice, which is pretty wild to think about. In Japan, are you okay? Always. In Japanese mythology, an ikiryo is a manifestation of the soul of a living person separately from their body. Traditionally, if somebody holds a sufficient grudge against another person, it's believed that a part or the whole of their soul, can temporarily leave their body and appear before their target of their hate in order to curse them.
Yeah.
Similar to like an evil eye.
Yeah.
Japan.
Are you okay?
Are you... Oh, you guys are fucking crazy. Whatever's going on over there, you guys have some wild shit. So anyway, souls are believed to leave a living body when the body is extremely sick or comatose. And so it is said that actually, in those situations, the Ikiryo are not malevolent. It's just they're piecing out of their body because it's like not a great place to be in the moment. In Judaism and Christianity, let's see. It is said that the subtle body is attached to the physical body by means of a psychic silver cord. The final chapter of the book of Ecclesiastes is often cited in this respect. Quote, before the silver cord be loosed, or the golden bowl be broken, or the pitcher be shattered at the fountain, or the wheel be broken at the cistern, is supposedly referring to the soul's tied to the body from an astral projection standpoint. Rabbi Noson Sherman contends that the context instead points to this being just a metaphor and actually says that the body's a machine and the silver cord is in fact referring to a spine, which is a crazy take on it, which I think is kind of cool. Some argue that Paul's second epistle to the Corinthians refers to the astral planes. Quote, I know a man in Christ who 14 years ago was caught up to the third heaven. Whether it was in the body or out of the body, I do not know. Only God knows. So that reference to the third heaven, supposedly referring to the astral plane. There are several notable supposed practitioners of astral projection. One of them is Emanuel Swedenborg, who was one of the first practitioners to write extensively about the out-of-body experience in like the 1700s. Helen Keller, in her book, My Religion, tells of her beliefs in Swedenborgianism and how she once traveled via astral projection to Athens. Quote, I have been far away all this time and I haven't left the room. It was clear to me that it was because I was a spirit that I had so vividly seen and felt a place 1,000 miles away. Space was nothing to spirit. In more, I guess, sort of occult takes on it, practices range from inducing trance states to the mental construction of a second body known as the body of light. This was termed by Aleister Crowley in the late 1800s, early 1900s, through visualization and controlled breathing, followed by the transfer of consciousness to the second body by a mental act of will. There are several 20th century publications on astral projection, but only a handful of writers are cited regularly, including Edgar Cayce, Hereward Carrington, Oliver Fox, Sylvan Muldoon, and Robert Monroe. And Monroe in particular, his accounts of journeys to other realms popularized the term out-of-body experience. So that's kind of where it has kind of come from. And these accounts were translated to a variety of languages, but his books only placed like secondary importance on descriptions of method, and he also founded an institute dedicated to research, exploration, and nonprofit dissemination of auditory technology for assisting others in achieving astral projection or some sort of like related state of altered consciousness. There's been a lot. Michael Crichton gives a lengthy and detailed explanation on the existence of astral projection in his 1988 nonfiction book, Travels. So there's just been like a lot throughout time. From a scientific standpoint, like I said, there's no known like scientific evidence that this like actually exists. Though there are cases of patients having out-of-body experiences suggested of astral projection from brain stimulation treatments, hallucinogenic drugs like ketamine, phencyclidine, and DMT. Subjects in parapsychological experiments have attempted to project astral bodies to distant rooms and see what was happening, but none of those experiments ever produced clear results. There was a psychologist, Donovan Rawcliffe, who wrote that astral projection can be explained by delusion, hallucination, and vivid dreams. Arthur W. Wiggins wrote that purported evidence of the ability to astrally travel great distances and give descriptions of places visited is predominantly anecdotal, and basically he considers it to be fully an illusion. He looks to neuroanatomy, prior knowledge, and human belief and imagination to provide prosaic explanations for those who supposedly have experienced astral projection. And it's said that the main evidence to support claims of it, it's all just anecdotal and comes, quote, in the form of testimonials of those who claim to have experienced being out of their bodies when they may, in fact, have been out of their minds.
Same.
So there was like a 2014 study. A person claimed to be able to astral project at will was strapped up to essentially like a brain monitoring equipment of some form. What the study found was interesting, though. Imaging showed that the brain was activated in areas associated with movement, and the results supposedly suggesting that the ECE, or extracorporeal experience, reported represents an unusual type of kinesthetic imagery. In other words, something happened, but they don't really know what.
Yeah.
In a 2010 study, a medical conclusion was reached in a patient. The patient reported floating outside his body. Doctors diagnosed instead dissociative identity disorder. I don't mean to laugh, but okay. And with hypnosis, relaxation training, the patient improved. However, this only tells us that essentially that out-of-body experience had like a medical reason. On paper, it should be able to disprove astral projection in individual patients by like writing a word on their forehead and then telling them to astral project to discover it. And when they wake, they would be able to say the word to practitioners. But like this would only disprove one person, and actually it would only disprove like one astral projection session. It would not indicate that everyone lies about astral projection or like disprove that it's accurate. So, I mean, overall, that's astral projection. What I was interested about is that in my research, it didn't mention anything about like government testing of this, because I feel like there's probably like this would be up their alley in some fashion. It does remind me a little bit of the Gateway experience, which I covered way back when.
Yeah.
And like trying to use astral projection for like espionage means. But this just focused more on what I wanted to take a little bit more approach on like cultural significance and history and any sort of scientific representation around this. I think we can agree at this point it's not really a thing. Though, do I feel like out-of-body experiences could exist when somebody has like a near-death situation? I think it could happen.
Yeah.
Like, I do believe that we have some sort of like we're more than just this like flesh bag that we live in.
Bag.
And I mean, if we look at science, we can't create matter, we can't destroy matter, it has to transfer. So like something's got to happen,
yeah,
right? And that's kind of
got to be going on.
It's also part of the reason why I could like potentially see why reincarnation, for example, could be a thing or something like that. But do I believe that somebody can sit here and willingly force themselves to go a great distance to somewhere else? I don't know. Although I got to say, meditation does some crazy shit for people who are like way high level in it. So hard to say, but I thought the one study in which it traced some sort of like significant brain activity that had to do with movement, but the person wasn't moving, was interesting. But I don't know.
This is very interesting.
So, I mean, what do you think? Do you believe in it? I don't know.
It's just reminding me of this one woman I used to work with.
Oh, God. Okay.
I used to talk about her quite often to you.
Okay.
And she used to tell me about having out-of-body experiences that she used to do on purpose.
Oh, God. I know who this is that you're talking about. Okay.
And is this what she was talking about?
I swear to God, if she experienced this, I'm going to be so pissed because she sucked.
And I'm like, there's no way, because she's not cool enough to be able to do this.
Well, that's what I'm just, like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
No, she's not allowed. I've deemed it so. That's funny, though. What a hoot. I mean, I don't know. Like, what do you think? Her aside, like the whole principle of it. I do think it's interesting that all the way back to ancient Egyptians and across cultures all over the world, there's some sort of representation of this.
If anybody could do it, I believe the Egyptians could do it.
Hell fucking yeah, the Egyptians, and then like I also feel like fucking Buddhist monks or some shit.
Yes, and I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
100%. Also, maybe some strong hallucinogenics.
Big time. Big time.
But
do I think in that case it's an actual thing? No, I think they're just
yeah.
hallucinating. But yeah.
I don't know what to think with this. It's also giving... Did you ever watch the Avatar? Like the cartoon version?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No.
It's giving Avatar state is what I was about to say.
Is it? Okay,
Which,
love that.
Like, he comes
is
from
that
their
like meditative?
Temple,
okay.
Which they're monks, and
so they're
meditative. So like,
I gotta talk to some monks, but they all take like vows of silence and shit,
like
right?
what they're experiencing is this. Do I believe in it? I don't know.
I'm wondering if this is one of those things that like eventually science will catch up, and like this is one of those moments where like yeah, I know they're considering it pseudoscience, but like for me it's one of those things where we just don't know, like there's just so much we don't know about consciousness and altered states of consciousness that like to me it's like
that's where I think I'm stuck.
Yeah, I'm like firmly not going to say yes or no. It's like a maybe. I mean, possibly.
And I think where I'm also stuck is, and it's not, I've had so many sleep paralysis things.
You have, yeah.
That's where I'm having this difficult.
That's a good point. And like it's a different thing, but it's like
it's
the same
totally
arena
different
of like,
yeah.
But of like it's again kind of an altered state of consciousness. Like like I don't know. I feel like neural stuff in general is wild.
It's so wild, and I wish we could just have some updated brain mapping science. I wish
if I win the lottery, should I fund a big ass study on this shit?
Oh God, please. That'd be so much fun. I think I'm
gonna have to.
It would be so much fun to throw a bunch of money at that kind of research, I think.
Big time. Big time.
Because I just want to know.
I mean, yeah. Wow. That would be cool.
Wow. This is very interesting. This is a very fun topic you've chosen.
Thank you. I've been wanting to do this for a while, and I was like, you know what? Let's just go for this.
And we're doing it.
It was fun to read about. Yeah, we're doing it. For me, like I said, one of the biggest things, and the handful of cultures that I covered, like that was just like a drop in the bucket. It's literally all over the place, and I think that's
I believe that. I do believe that it's. Yeah. Wow.
The shit's bananas. So, anyway, that's what I got. Let us know what you think. I'm firmly in the realm of maybe.
Yeah, I think
maybe yes, maybe no.
Yeah, it's a very strong maybe.
Yeah, and I mean, if I think the reference to like a third heaven is interesting. Like we talk about parallel universes, we talk about alternate timelines, we talk about like why can't there be an extra plane, an astral plane? Why not? Yeah. Whatever, sure. So, this was a fun ass episode.
It really was.
Hope you all enjoyed. And of Cuervo, until next time.
Stay strange.